Drug discovery phase. Let's start with the first phase, drug discovery. The primary objective here is to identify and validate a biological target like an enzyme or receptor, and then discover lead compounds that could potentially interact with it. Now think about this. What exactly does medicinal chemistry bring to the table in this phase? Well, it starts with target identification. For instance, to develop ACE inhibitors for hypertension, scientists studied the renin-angiotensin system, a key pathway that regulates blood pressure. By understanding this system, they pinpointed ACE as the enzyme to target. Next, we have lead discovery. This involves screening chemical libraries and optimizing potential leads. And here's a fascinating example. ACE inhibitors were inspired by snake venom. Yes, snake venom. Scientists discovered that certain venom compounds naturally inhibited blood pressure enzymes. By refining these compounds, they created the life-saving drugs we know today. Now, let's look at a case study to make this even clearer. Have you ever wondered how aspirin was developed? Chemists started with salicylic acid extracted from willow bark, an age-old remedy, but salicylic acid was harsh on the stomach, so they modified it into acetylsalicylic acid. The result? A pain reliever that's effective and much gentler on the stomach. Pretty cool, right? Preclinical development. Moving on to the next phase, preclinical development. This stage ensures that the drug is safe and effective in non-human models. Here, medicinal chemistry focuses on two key areas, SAR studies and ADMET profiling. SAR stands for structure-activity relationship. In simple terms, it's about tweaking a molecule structure to make it more potent and selective. For example, beta blockers like propranolol were developed by adjusting their chemical structures to block beta-adrenergic receptors while minimizing side effects. Then there's ADMET profiling, which examines how the drug is absorbed, distributed, metabolized, excreted, and whether it's toxic. Now for another case study, insulin analogs. Chemists modified the amino acid sequences in insulin to create analogs like insulin glargine, which works over a longer duration, and insulin lispro, which acts faster. These innovations revolutionized diabetes management by giving patients more tailored treatment options. Clinical trials. Let's talk about the most publicized phase, clinical trials. This is where the drug is tested on humans and is divided into three phases. Phase 1 tests safety and dosage in a small group of volunteers. Phase 2 evaluates efficacy and side effects in patients with the target condition. Phase 3 involves large-scale testing to confirm the drug's effectiveness. Medicinal chemists play a critical role here by refining drug formulations to ensure optimal bioavailability and stability. A great example of this is sildenafil, better known as Viagra. It was originally tested for angina, but during trials, researchers noticed a surprising side effect. This serendipitous discovery led to its repurposing for erectile dysfunction. And here's a case study. Natural penicillin G was effective but unstable in stomach acid. Chemists developed semi-synthetic derivatives like amoxicillin to broaden its spectrum and improve stability. This transformed penicillin into a more versatile antibiotic. Regulatory approval. Now, once clinical trials are successful, the drug moves to regulatory approval. This is where agencies like the FDA or EMA evaluate whether the drug can be marketed. Medicinal chemists ensure that the drug synthesis can be scaled up for mass production. They also optimize its stability, so it maintains its potency during storage and distribution. Take Tamiflu as an example. During influenza outbreaks, scientists scaled up the synthesis of shikimic acid derivatives, a key component of Tamiflu, to meet the global demand. Post-market surveillance. The journey doesn't end after approval. The final phase is post-market surveillance. Here, medicinal chemists address issues like drug resistance and improve formulations. For instance, they developed second-generation antibiotics like cephalosporins to tackle resistant bacteria. Similarly, they create slow-release formulations to enhance patient compliance. This phase ensures that drugs remain safe, effective, and relevant in the face of new challenges. Innovative approaches in medicinal chemistry. Before we wrap up, let's talk about some exciting innovations. First, AI in drug design. Tools like AlphaFold predict protein structures with incredible accuracy, accelerating drug discovery. Second, green chemistry. This involves eco-friendly practices like replacing toxic solvents with water or ethanol, reducing the environmental impact of drug synthesis. Conclusion. So, to sum it up, medicinal chemistry is the backbone of drug development. It's central to designing, synthesizing, and optimizing therapeutic agents at every stage. Whether it's life-saving statins, innovative insulin analogs, or second-generation antibiotics, medicinal chemistry has improved millions of lives worldwide. And with advancements like AI and green chemistry, the future looks even brighter. Thank you for listening, and let's keep exploring this fascinating field together.